Welcome to the SIGBED ACM's Special Interest Group in Embedded Systems business meeting. As I said, I'm Shayan. I'm a professor at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. I'm also the vice chair of SIGBED. The chair for SIGBED is Steve Lowe, and unfortunately, he is having some internet issues. So he's not going to be able to do the presentation today. Probably he's going to join down the road. We also have Wanli Chang, the secretary and treasurer of SIGBED on this call, and you'll hear from Wanli and some of the other officers of SIGBED in this meeting. So the purpose of this meeting is to inform and disseminate some of the activities that we have undertaken as a part of SIGBED. And we will go through some of the more routine discussions in the beginning about membership, different SIGBED activities. And then we will open up the floor for feedback and discussions. By the way, this is the second business meeting for SIGBED this year. These meetings are open to public and somewhat widely advertised. The first meeting was held in May alongside ESWeek. Okay, so actually, the first thing we want to talk about is a new initiative, which is the SIGBED SIGSOFT Frank Anger Memorial Award, and Nan Guan is going to talk about this, and I'm going to pick it up from there. So Nan, please introduce yourself and take it away.
All right, thank you very much, Sayan. I'm Nan. I'm from the City University of Hong Kong, and this year I will help to organize this selection for the SIGBED and SIGSOFT Frank Anger Memory Award. And just very briefly introduce what this award is. This is a student award named after Dr. Frank Anger to promote the cross-disciplinary research between SIGBED and SIGSOFT. So actually, this award has been there for several years, and this year, so it continues. And in the past, it was quite successful. And so to apply for this award, so basically you have to be a member of SIGBED, and you should have a paper at a conference sponsored by SIGBED in this year or last year. And of course, should be a student, or a graduate student. Okay. And this year, the application due is the end of October. So we have roughly like a bit more than 2 weeks. And I really hope everybody could consider to apply if you are a student. And if you are not, please encourage your student to apply. So there are more details that you can find by visiting this link, or you can simply scan this QR code. Will direct you to that link. And if you like the winner of this award, you not only have the great opportunity to get closer interaction with the SIGSOFT community, so you will also get some certificate and also be awarded with a travel grant to support the student to travel to one of the SIGSOFT conferences in the coming year. Okay, yeah, I think I just stop here. Thank you very much, Saya.
Thank you, Nan. Yes, this is an excellent opportunity for students, so please disseminate this information. And as you will see, this is one of the efforts, which is a cross-SIG effort, combining SIGBED and SIGSOFT in this case, and you will hear about several other such cross-SIG activities later in this discussion. And there are many other awards also that you'll hear about. Okay, so now a little bit of background about SIGBED. As I said earlier, Special Interest Group in Embedded Systems was founded in 2003. And really it focuses on all aspects of embedded systems, real-time systems, and cyber-physical systems. And like other special interest groups in ACM, SIGBED sponsors various conferences, workshops, supports a number of awards, competitions, and other initiatives. And you can find all of this information at our website, which is quite well maintained. And the membership status is healthy. We have 800 plus regular and student members, and there has been an increase in the number of members since 2019. The number we have here is 50% increase. And half of these members are student members. The number of women is not large, 10%, and we are working on improving that fraction. So for those of you who are new, and maybe even if you've been around SIGBED for a while, it's nice to remind ourselves why we are here and encourage others to join SIGBED. So first of all, this is a forum to stay up to date with the state of the art and latest technical developments in embedded cyber physical and real-time systems. Before the pandemic, there were lots of in-person meetings and discussions, so it's an excellent opportunity to connect with colleagues around the globe. Now, of course, things are virtual and we are slowly coming back to in-person meetings. Hopefully, we will again get to interact in person real soon. And there are some ongoing discussions about where the community should go, what kind of new events we should organize, mentoring workshops, and other kinds of activities supporting diversity, inclusion, and equity. And there are community resources, as you'll see. If you want to engage with certain kind of research activities, workshops, and disseminate your work, there are certain channels that SIGBED provides, which will be useful for researchers and practitioners. Some of the tangible member benefits include discounted registration rates at conferences and workshops that are sponsored or co-sponsored by SIGBED, and there are a number of these. And there are opportunities for networking and service leadership through the community. And you will also get this newsletter and updates from the blog, which are maintained, and get information about the latest happenings in the field. And overall, the goals of SIGBED are aligned with the goals of ACM in fostering professional development of computer science in general, but also more focused on embedded systems. So please join SIGBED, encourage your students and postdocs, friends to join SIGBED, and subscribe to our mailing list. So SIGBED is led by a large number of people. Steve Liu, our chair, is having a difficulty today with internet, and is probably going to join us later. I am Shayan. I'm the vice chair of SIGBED, and Wan Li Chang is the treasurer and secretary. And we also have eminent board of directors, Jim Anderson, Shamarjit Chakraborty, Farinaz Koshanfar, Insup Lee, Ji Liu, Martina Margio, Nikki Trigoni, and Wang Li. We also have several other members of the SIGBED executive committee who help us make decisions and take on new initiatives. And you'll hear from some of these folks later in this meeting as well. So you can learn more about the officers and members of SIGBED from the SIGBED webpage, and see who is doing what. And if you have particular kind of feedback or suggestions, you can reach out to one of us, or even directly to the officers taking on, who have taken on kindly certain responsibilities. And like other SIGs under ACM, SIGBED is governed by the group's officers, comprised of the chair, vice chair, and the secretary. And the SIGBED chair appoints this board of directors, and you can find the names of all the directors on the website as well. Okay, so as I said, SIGBED sponsors many conferences and workshops. We are here at ESWeek, which is one of the main conferences, events that is co-sponsored by SIGBED. And as you all know, ESWeek has several conferences and symposia. CASES, CODIS, ISSS, MSoft are the main conferences. And then there are 2 symposia, MemoCode and Knox. The second major event that is sponsored by SIGBED is CPS IoT Week, which happened in June. And there we have 5 conferences: HSCC, ICCPS, IPSN, RTAS, and IoTDI. And there are other standalone conferences that are also co-sponsored by SIGBED, like LCTES, Census, Chase. And there are numerous workshops and other events that are run by SIGBED, at least at the level of co-sponsoring them. And all SIGBED proceedings are available through the ACM Digital Library. So that's another big benefit of joining SIGBED. I see Steve has joined us. Hello, good morning.
Yes. Hi, good morning, Sayang. Good morning, everyone, or good evening, or good day for people around the globe. And sorry that I had a power failure and the internet failure, of course, because of power. But now it's get back. So Sayang is in good hands. So so maybe I can continue with this slide.
That sounds great.
We'll continue.
That sounds great, Steve. I can run the slides. You can just take over the microphone.
Thanks. Yeah. So you can hear me, right?
Yes, I hear you well.
Great, great. So as many of you may already know, so SIGBED hosts several prestigious awards and to recognize researchers and people within the community. So here is a list of the current SIGBED awards. And I think there's something still wrong with the alarm. If you can hear the beeping, sorry for that, because of the power failure. So the first one is SIGBED Memorial Award, SIGBED Early Career Award, and SIGBED Paul Caspi Memorial Dissertation Award. And this year, we created 2 prestigious senior awards, and Professor David Cole will give it the details and also the awardees today. So the first one is the SIGBED Technical Achievement Award, and second one is the SIGBED Distinguished Leadership Award. And also within different conferences which SIGBED sponsors or co-sponsors. So we have the SIGBED MSoft Best Paper Award, and that was just awarded 2 days ago, and the SIGBED HSCC Best Paper Award. So for people who are interested, please look at the details of those awards on our websites, and also that there are several, in the year round, there are several award call for nominations and deadlines for nomination. And so we will please nominate either your colleagues, your co-workers, or your students. Next slide, please. So now I will hand it to Professor David Cole for introducing the 2 senior awards of SIGBED, started from this year.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you, Steve. on behalf of the award committee, we are very happy to make announcement of the two important awards of SIGBED. We have 6 members in the award selection committee. Beside myself, we have Samaji Tripathi, Nick Dart, York Henkel, Steve Liu, and Lotte Tilley. And this year, we work quite hard for the evaluation and also nominations review for the Distinguished Technical Achievement Award and also Distinguished Leadership Award. It took us several months and a very serious discussion to determine who will be the winner for this inaugural award. And we are very happy to make an announcement today. The SIGBED Technical Achievement Award is to recognize the significant and sustained contributions to research and or system implementation relevant to SIGBED depends on the impacts made by the awardee throughout the lifetime. This year, we are very happy to announce that the inaugural award goes to Professor Edward Lee from University of California, Berkeley. It is for his contributions, fundamental contributions on modeling and design of embedded real-time and cyber-physical systems. Congratulations, Professor Lee.
Congratulations.
So, Steve, should we invite Professor Lee? I don't know whether he's online to say something.
I didn't see it's online.
Okay.
But maybe let's move to the next award right now.
Okay, no problem. Okay. Okay, I'm also happy to announce the awardee for the inaugural award of Distinguished Leadership Award of SIGBED. The award is to recognize exemplary and substantive leadership in leading and implementing activities over the communities relevant to SIGBED at regional, national, and or international level. We are very happy to announce that the inaugural award goes to Professor Insub Lee, University of Pennsylvania. It's for his leadership in promoting cross-fertilization of ACM and IEEE communities in cyber-physical systems, real-time system, and embedded system. Congratulations, Professor Lee.
Congratulations.
Okay, thank you very much. It's really, truly an honor to receive this award. And I really thank the selection committee for choosing me. Let me give you a little background on sort of my involvement with this. So around 2000, I was IEEE TCRTS chair. That's the Technical Committee on Real-Time System, which is similar to SIGBED. And there we had a sort of workshop with real-time and embedded system in Cancun. And that workshop, we identified the need to expand or collaborate between real-time and embedded systems and control group. And that actually became a seed to creation of cyber physical systems. Around that time, I was also involved in co-program chair for EMSoft 2002. Because of that, when there was this sort of the pre-ESWeek meeting was in New York City, a bunch of us get together and then start formulating ESWeek and including EMSoft as a part of it. Okay, so I was really fortunate to work with all other leaders who really deserve this award in the creation of ESWeek. I'm another person is not here, and then also CPS and CPS IoT Week in 2008. So as a collaboration between IEEE and ASEAN. And I'm really happy to see this community is growing and all these community members who are making this sort of community thrive and then so helping to grow and so on. Okay. Again, thanks very much for this prestigious award and thank you.
Let's give another round of applause to Professor Lee.
Yeah, congratulations, Professor Lee. So back to you, Steve.
Sure. I want to add one more thing. So as many of us know that Professor Imputer Lee is an outstanding leader and the instrumental figure in shaping what SIGBED is now. I would like to say, without the contributions of Professor Lee to SIGBED, SIGBED cannot be so successful as its current status. Thank you very much. So let's go to the next slide. So it's a SIGBED Early Career Award. So I will hand to Wan Li to announce.
Right. I think this Early Career Award should also be from Tei-Wei.
Yeah, let me say something about this award, okay?
Yeah.
This award is to recognize outstanding contributions by junior researchers in the area embedded real-time and cyber physical system. We have the selection committee with Samaji Chapati, Nick Dot, Yok Henkel, Xu Liu, Lotte Tilley, and Tei-Wei Kuo myself. This year, we also received a huge number of nominations. After very serious discussion, months of evaluations, finally we come to the conclusion and select Professor Marco Zieberlin from University of Freiburg, Germany, as the winner for the SIGBED Early Career Award. Congratulations, Professor Zieberlin.
Yeah, I would add this award, it's already announced in the last business meeting in the CPS together with CPS IoT week. And again, I want to congratulate Marco and also want to thank the steering committee chaired by Professor Tei-Wei Kuo. Next slide, please. Yeah, so now hand to Wan Li for the Paul Caspi Memorial Dissertation Award.
Yeah, right. Yeah, this is my turn. Thank you, Steve, Tei-Wei, and Sanya. So just a reminder, because in the beginning, I think some of our colleagues were in another room, so they missed probably the first few slides. So in the beginning, we actually announced a call for the Frank Anger SIGBED SIGSOFT in Collaboration Memorial Award. The submission deadline is the end of this month. The selection chair is Nan Guan from City University of Hong Kong. So I think we have all the detailed information on the SIGBED website. So if you missed that part, so please visit our website or directly approach Nan or Fanxing. So I think they will be able to answer any question. Yeah, and so this award is Paul Caspi Memorial Dissertation Award. So it's meant to recognize outstanding PhD dissertations in embedded real-time and cyber-physical systems. So we publish a dissertation summary in ACM SIGBED newsletter, and there is a certificate with an honorarium of $2,000 US. So I chair this selection committee, and we have formed a strong committee with diverse technical backgrounds. I think this is very important.
I guess we lost
his audio. Yeah.
audio, yeah. Maybe it's just the network delay.
Academics and industry experts, senior experts. So this year the winner is Tanya Emmett from UNC Chapel Hill for the thesis for the dissertation enabling real-time certification of autonomous driving applications. And there is something new starting from this year, because in addition to giving the award, we also provided feedback to all the submissions, meaning all the nominees, on their dissertations. Hopefully, this effort, actually, this is a significant effort because reviewing a PhD dissertation is much more time-consuming than reviewing a regular paper. So I hope this kind of effort from the committee should be useful for the nominees and useful for the community. Yeah, next slide, please. So it's again me. So there is this main student competition, ACM SRC, and as a SIG of ACM, so we also have a ACM SIGBED SRC. So this competition is the main competition of ACM, and had the version of 2022 has just been completed successfully within ESWeek. So there are two categories: undergraduate and graduate. So the graduate category includes both a Master of Science or Research and also PhD. So for each category, we have selected three winners with cash rewards, meaning champion, second place and third place. So we have announced the winners in the award ceremony of ESWeek. So the winners, meaning the champions of both categories, will represent SIGBED and compete against other SIGs in the ACM Grand Finals. And the finalists, by convention, they will be invited to the annual ACM Awards banquet where the Turing Award is given, together with their supervisors. So this year, so actually SIGBED started this competition, I think, quite lately. The first version, I think, started in 2019, but not that formally. So this year we have put in a lot of investment, advertisement, and we have also formed a strong team of judges. So we have attracted 19 participants in the final round, which is the presentation round, and in the first round is a paper reviewing, right? So I think this year is very successful, and so as the organizer, I sincerely hope so these winners will perform well in the ACM Grand Finals, and so we will continue to promote this competition. I think this is important competition for the students in the following years. Thank you.
Okay, now thanks Wan Li, and now I want to present something new, which started this year. We call the SIGBED cross-SIG activities. As the name suggests, we want to invite more people from other communities to join force together with SIGBED community to expand our horizon and promote more collaborations and spark new ideas. And hopefully we can do something big. So the first of the series is the ACM SIGBED Cross-SIG Forum, which happened 4 days ago along with the ESWeek. And this is the SIGBED and SIGDA join force together. And the workshop is called Emerging Technologies in System Design and Design Automation for Embedded Systems. As you can see from the name of the workshop, it fits squarely with the focus of SIGBED and also SIGDA. So it was held on October the 11th in conjunction with ESWeek this year. And it was a very successful event. I want to thank for the program chair, which is Professor Chen Xu from Peking University, and also from SIGBED and SIGDA, and also Professor Mingsong Chen. And it's a half-day event. And if you're interested, you can look at their webpage. As a SIGBED chair, I give the opening remarks with this event. So we are planning with several more of the cross-SIG activities in the coming year. Next slide, please. As many of you already know, so SIGBED has a blog, And I will invite Chu Chu to give an update.
I'm not sure if she's online, but I'll do it.
Just the class.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how about Sayang? You can give update, please.
Sure. So the SIGBED blog has been quite active. It is edited by Stanley Bach and Chu Chu Fan. Stanley Bach is at the University of Stony Brook, and Chu Chu Fan is at MIT. And roughly they post one article every month. And these are sort of broad-ranging articles covering latest interesting technical news, discussions about policy, and generally where the community is going, and topics of broader interests. So invite you to look at the blog, post comments, and if you have suggestions for new articles or topics that should be covered, please reach out to the editors. The most recent topic was an article by Professor Edward Lee on the publication culture in computer science broadly. And this article received quite a bit of attention in other media as well. Back to you, Steve.
Yes, thanks, Sayang. So now I want to give some updated plan for what SIGBED is aiming for and planning to do in the new year. Of the first and foremost is the cross-SIG activities. As I mentioned, we already have the first SIGBED SIGDA workshop, joint workshop. And we are also planning to include more ACM SIGs, including, for example, SIG Mobile in discussion, because they are very closely related to what SIGBED to focus. We are also starting a distinguished speakers program, lectures, and stay tuned for the announcement. As also input that mentioned, so SIGBED, many of the community members and also sit together with IEEE, especially TCRTS. And so we are also considering of joint activities, SIGBED and the TCRTS. Last but not least is career mentoring workshop. This is for the junior faculty members and also senior PhD students. And especially they want to go to academia or as a researcher in industry. So we want to have the senior members within the community to lecture and mentor the junior researchers and the faculty members. Next slide, please. Now we'll open the floor for discussions, and I will start, and then Sayang will in charge of the discussions. So this year, ACM did a survey of 38 chairs of the ACM 6. So here I want to give you some update from the survey. So from all the chairs of the surveys, nearly all of the 6 are transitioning back to in-person, as we already seen the trend. But many also want to keep having some virtual component, or we call the hybrid mode. We all agree that the hybrid mode or some of the virtual component will stay here, and in fact, it's beneficial to the community members in multiple ways, no matter it's cost, time, travel, or other of safety. But back to person is even more important because face-to-face meeting is very important for academic exchanges. The survey also asks for the SIGBED chairs, what are the biggest challenges for your own SIGs over the next 5 years. So here I give a summary. Most SIGs agree, including recruiting members, especially of those who will help as volunteers. Because ACM and also the SIGs are volunteer-based. So we need people like all of you to volunteer to promote SIGBED and all the other SIGs and ACM and contribute. So it's a community. We need everyone's hand, ideas, suggestions, feedbacks. Another big challenge most SIG are facing is to be more inclusive. And especially people, we say, from the global south, or who do computing, but in other disciplines. We all know ACM focus on computing, but computing now is penetrating to nearly all sciences and engineering. There are many people who do computing, but in other disciplines. How to involve those people with ACM and SIGs is another thing that we need to consider and encourage. If you have good ideas, please let us know. Our contact information is at the end of all the slides. Next slide. Yeah, I'll hand to you.
Okay, this is really opening up the floor for discussions and feedback from all of you. I have a couple of slides prepared to seed these discussions. So our community, your community, has some headwinds and also some opportunities. So some of the challenges are that we notice the submissions in some of the leading conferences are softening, the number of submissions. So here is a graph showing the most recent number of submissions in ICCPS and HSCC. I just managed to pick out those numbers quickly. Others might want to comment on other SIGBED conferences. And you see the numbers are more or less flat over the years, maybe declining a little bit, and one can attribute that to the pandemic, perhaps. But at the same time, you see some other communities are growing and growing quite fast. I have picked out the numbers from this recent workshop that has been created, L4DC, Learning for Decision and Control. So it started in 2019 with invited submissions and short papers. And in the last couple of years, they have actually taken full-length submissions and a review process. And the numbers there are about 50% or double of the numbers in ICCPS and HSCC, and seems like the numbers are growing. So now these are just a data point here. The communities are not exactly the same. There's some potential overlap, but it's a growing area. Machine learning, deep learning are very important topics, and there are lots of intersections with SIGBED and cyber physical systems. So it's an interesting data point to look at. And the yellow graph over here is the number of attendees at L4DC, and it's not really an apples to apples comparison. I don't have the number of attendees for HSCC or ICCPS in the recent past, but you can make what you will from that data. So that's one thing to consider. The number of submissions are not growing, and you'd like our conferences to be growing and healthy. So something to think about. And there has been some ideas informally swirling around. Had a few conversations with people in the community. And this is not quite crystallized into a proposal, but to mention this anyway. So for example, should SIGBED reinvent itself as a SIG, which is home for autonomy research, right? Autonomy is an important topic and touching various aspects, intersecting with robotics, definitely intersecting with embedded systems, but it's not exactly robotics and not exactly embedded systems, right? It's a different kind of a research area. And it's a growing area with lots of interest from industry and different kinds of industries. So something for our community to think about. Another vector in this discussion is to see if it makes sense to combine or consolidate some of the existing conferences into SIGBED-led flagship events. Again, not clear if that addresses the submissions issue. If the total number of submissions remain the same, then maybe nothing is gained by combining conferences. But this idea has been floating around for a while, so I thought we should mention it here. Yeah, so that really is all I wanted to bring up. And there are a lot of opportunities also. As you saw from earlier in the presentation, the membership numbers are healthy and in fact growing. There are new cross-SIG activities which are gaining momentum. And there are lots of new opportunities for engaging with this growing industry. And overall, computer science is growing very, very fast, right? And so SIGBED definitely is well poised to ride that wave. And there are various endeavors in our queue to improve diversity and inclusion in this community. Some of them are sort of in the back burner because of the pandemic. It didn't quite make sense to kick off big events with mentoring and so forth. So with that, I will stop for now and open up the floor for comments. And Steve and Wanli, if you want to add something more to this list of topics for discussion, feel free to make a remark, and then we can take points from the audience.
Thank you, Sayang. In fact, this reflects that what Sayang, Wanli, myself, and also the executive members of all SIGBED leaders has been in discussion. Those are the important challenges we are facing. And we want to have a discussion, open discussion, and also find a solution to deal with those challenges. Please share your thoughts, ideas, suggestions, or other problems you think that we should address.
I think this is a great start. And I think, as you point out, membership is growing, but there are other communities that seems to be emerging and growing faster. So I guess one strategy is how can SIGBED embrace new emerging trends on areas so that it can grow with it. And I don't know what is the best way to do it. One possible way is approaching this growing areas leaders and try to coordinate something, or try to have some sort of workshop together to brainstorm and how to grow together. So that's what has happened with the real-time systems in the past, when they realized area is growing and real-time system is just very specialized area, and then that's how it emerged. The cyber physical system looks like now it's a sort of new area that's emerging, which is more autonomy and learning and so on. So maybe a good SIGBED can sort of do some sort of workshop, bring in all these participants and brainstorm together to sort of identify how we might move forward. Okay? And the result can be some sort of position papers. That's what various groups did, and submit to IEEE or ACM, CACM, and so on. So no, I think it's great. There's opportunity. We should try to utilize it somewhat.
Thank you very much, Insup, for your comments. I'm actually taking notes, and we will discuss all these suggestions further, and formally try to solicit comments from the broader community. But this is a great input. Yes, Aviral, please go ahead. Yeah.
So I just noted that SIGBED gives the EMSoft Best Paper Award, but I thought SIGBED could be more inclusive by also recognizing the other conferences in the ESWeek, like Cases and Codes ISS, and sponsor their Best Paper Award as well, especially because anyway SIGBED is a equal sponsor in the entire ESWeek. So that could be one way to be more inclusive, right, of the design and synthesis community of embedded systems as well, which is no doubt an extremely important part of embedded systems.
Totally agree. Thank you, Ariel. Yeah, we will include the other conferences within the ESWeek. And in fact, I remember that this year's the Codes SSS Conference Best Paper Award goes to Professor Taewei Ko, who is here, and also SIGBED executive member committee. Of course, we should include those, and also congratulations to Taewei and his team. So how about other people here? Any comments? For example, we covered, for example, the membership. Insup already mentioned the awards Ariel mentioned, and for DEI, of course, that's a very important thing. We want to learn from your experiences and your wise minds at how to do better in DEI.
So maybe I'll say something. I think Sanya made a very good suggestion. Like autonomy is a growing area, and for example, myself, I serve in the PC as an area chair of ICRA, so the robotic conference, and many of the submissions actually overlap those in embedded systems. And they have like more than 1,000 submissions every year recently. So I think this is a large area, but the problem is how we can position ourselves and how we can like establish a highly influential conference or journal to attract all these people working in embedded systems. So I don't know what exactly can be done, but this is just a remark on science direction.
Yeah, I agree with you. This is precisely the market or the community I was also thinking about, or many of us. It's just I made the presentation, but this idea of connecting with autonomy and robotics is coming from a lot of people that we have spoken with. So I have a personal take, which is, cars, for example, or even simple quadrotors with very simple dynamics. These are less interesting to roboticists. They are interested in, robots which have very interesting dynamics, like bipedal robots and things like that. But when you go from like a single car to doing sort of like multi-agent planning or high-level kind of coordination algorithms, maybe the networking aspect becomes an important issue, or the computing hardware on the car itself becomes an important issue, battery becomes an important issue. These are things where I think we are getting closer and closer to topics where the SIGBED community has a higher expertise and stakes. And so that might be a way to sort of differentiate and yet make a room within this intersection to connect with the robotics community. So for example, like this F110th competition, right? It's squarely in that intersection. It in fact started out, very successfully as part of ESWeek and probably had some affiliation with SIGBED also at some point. But now it is housed, I think, at ICRA last few years, or at least recently. So these kinds of activities could be like a joint activity.
But I think the bottom line of what Sayan is saying makes a lot of sense, because I think all of us can identify that we are working on autonomy, towards autonomy. So in that sense, the theme is very well aligned and in the right direction of where we ourselves are leading to. The only challenge being, like as Vanli said, is that do we lose our uniqueness, right? In that, like right now, embedded systems saying that is a unique step, but yeah, but it seems like smaller than autonomy, right? And a pre-step to autonomy. So in that, so it's a complicated thing.
My name is Yu. I just want to follow up on Cheyenne's comment. I understand that autonomous driving UAVs are less interested to the robotics community, but maybe it can be interesting to the transportation community, like intelligent transportation systems. I understand that we need a unique aspect on embedded systems, but I don't think we have already set a foot in those communities. If we want to look for potential applications, interactions with other communities, probably we can also consider that. I'm not exactly, I don't have a lot of overlapping with that community, but I think that can be an idea.
Thank you, you and Vidal, for your comments. Well taken. Yes, there are many other communities with which intersect. For example, the ITSC community doing transportation work. I've been to a few of those meetings, and I don't see a lot of embedded system design there, for example, right? Designing the processors and making them power efficient, for example, which is like the bedrock of SIGBED, right? Like this is the kind of thing that we have a lot of expertise here. So that's an obvious kind of connection to make. And going back to the point that Insup was making, sort of creating a workshop where we bring people from these different communities who have the bandwidth and the interest to put some energy in this direction might be quite fruitful.
Yeah, SIGBED is, when we start, and the embedded system community is already very multidisciplinary. So the suggestion here that to branch more into other community and bring them together is definitely a very good suggestion, including robotics, autonomy. And in fact, Sayan and I and several other people, including Wanli, Insup, we discussed about autonomy maybe can be a major theme in the embedded system community. And that's related to the previous slide that Sayang presented about the submission softening, and because a lot of community, not only our community, are attracted to the AI machine learning community. And so embedded and AI machine learning should go in hand in hand. So one thing, of course, is definitely autonomy and bring some intelligence autonomy into embedded systems. So I want to now discuss this challenge of softening submissions and participation at some of the leading conferences here within the embedded system community. Internally, we have several discussions, and now we want to get more ideas that how you think that we can address this issue and challenge.
Professor Kuo, please go ahead. I have a comment.
Okay. In fact, I like to talk about student participation. Okay, may not be tightly connected to what Steve just mentioned. But anyway, I noticed that we had some career mentoring workshops. I think it's pretty good. Okay, as soon as we can come back to face-to-face meeting, I believe that more people, especially students, would be. I mean, they will join the workshops and meeting, so that they can have opportunity to meet more faculty members, talk about the career, and then from them. Okay, so one more thing I'd like to mention is that maybe we can consider some special initiative. For example, a very low fee for the student membership. For example, for certain events, if they join, we probably can even give them some free pass. Okay, so maybe we can think about how to increase the number of potential participants from student sides in the future. Okay.
Thank you, Tiwei. Yeah, that's a very, very good suggestion.
One way to increase the membership is just give out free membership for all the ESWeek participants and also CPS week participants. I think it can be arranged. I know there are many other SIGs which are doing it. By attending it first year, you automatically become member and you don't have to pay, but subsequently they have to pay. And SIGBED case, it's not that much that high membership fee anyway, but just to bring them in at the first step might be good.
That's a very good suggestion. Yeah, let's do it. I think SIGBED financially is doing very well, and we can use this.
Yeah, this can be done. Yeah.
The other one related to what Tiwei and Insep just discussed and suggested is that we were discussing that whether we can give free membership to student members. But currently, it's pretty cheap, but however, students still need to pay, and sometimes they don't have credit card, something that's some trouble. So if we give free membership to students, it's not a big impact for our financial situation, but on the other hand, it can attract more younger blood to our community. So that's another thing. I want to know whether from INSEP, you were the previous chairs, whether this is possible or whether this has been discussed. There's some concerns about free membership for students.
I think we discussed something like this before, but I don't remember exactly what happened. I think ACM was just sort of at that time discouraging us. We say,
Right.
But I don't really remember exactly what was their concern. Maybe some about the officers. Let me see. Maybe Oleg is here. Oleg may remember. But I think it's a great idea. I think if you can do it, then why not?
Yeah,
I don't
as
remember what
Insep
happened.
said,
If I may jump in, so there is one consideration from behavioral economics, and it's a very robust effect that people don't value free. So there is a certain appeal of free, and at the same time, you tend not to value things that you get for free as much. So I'm not sure.
You are right, Alec. So this is in fact from the famous researcher Kenneth Arrow, the Nobel Prize winner in economics. And he in fact suggested that the copay to the US health system should place a small copay instead of free, because people will value more, and also will also prevent people abuse the health system. So that's definitely true too.
Yeah, and also as Insup said, so I have had some discussion with ACM on this as well. But yeah, exactly as Insup said, ACM is generally against this free membership. Yeah.
Let me add something. Okay, maybe we can consider certain kinds of free membership if student register for certain conference. Okay, for example.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we're not say I'm not saying that we just give a free pass to anyone. Okay, wandering around. Okay, what I'm saying is that, for example, if they join our SIGBED conference, okay, and we probably can consider to give them some free membership. Okay, for a year, for example.
Yeah, that's good. We already keep notes, and we'll discuss internally and with the executive members and the leaders within SIGBED, and also discuss with the ACM again. And another thing coming out from the discussion right now is maybe that we can give free membership to the DEI minorities or less represented people, student members maybe.
Yeah, I'd like to highlight what also Insup was saying earlier. You know, the membership fee for students in particular for SIGBED is not that high, right? It's 10, 15 US dollars or so. So I don't think this, maybe there's the convenience of not having to click through too many buttons, and you just get it if you sign up for ESWeek or CPSWeek. But longer term, I think people have to find it exciting, valuable, and then they will renew and contribute. So I think being able to define those activities like what we're talking about, mentoring workshops, and also the intellectual core of the community, I think that will attract the next generation of people.
That's cool. And how about we switch a little gear, discussing about conferences?
May I ask a question or make a suggestion? This is Nick Dutt here.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, just as we are now getting back to in-person events, I know that in the past, SIGBED has provided travel grants for students in various forms for major conferences like ESWeek and perhaps CPSWeek. So we might want to consider revisiting that as a member benefit for students, which would then also incentivize them to join and get more involved with conferences and with SIGBED. And perhaps also, you know, have this be tied to something like they have some active participation in the conference. Maybe they're presenting a paper or participating in a workshop or something. So this would get them more involved with the activities of SIGBED and sort of germinate the seed for them to continue engagement for the future. I'm sorry if you've already considered that, but now that we're getting back to in-person, we have to start thinking about what we can do for in-person events.
Thank you for that comment. Yes, makes a lot of sense. And looking forward to in-person SIGBED events. We are a bit behind on this compared to some of the other communities. And in a way, our hands have been a bit tied, right? Because the conferences are not really organized by SIGBED. These are, we are sponsoring the SIGBED. But I think the point that you're making makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Thanks, Nick. There's a one question from the chat, from the ESWeek staff, which is a graduate student. With the, I will read out, people can read. So with the highest regard to everyone in the meeting, I'm just curious to know why there's no female professor in this meeting. As we're talking about diversity and inclusion, this point came to my mind. As a graduate student, I have read exciting papers from the groups of many female professors working in embedded systems. I will start first, and maybe Sayang or other people might need input, you can chime in. Yes, in fact, we have many great female professors in the community. For SIGBED, so we have, I mentioned that we have 8-person executive committee. It's like the advisory role. They call the board of directors. And among the 8 that are in our bylaw, we have 3 high-profile female professors. Farinas from University of California, San Diego, Nikki from Oxford University, and Martina from representing Europe from Salland University. So they are on our board of directors. They constantly got our update. And also for all the award committees, we have all the female professors and researchers sitting in and helping selecting the awards. And of course, you can also see that the recent SIGBED award and also awarded to a female student from North Carolina and from Chapel Hill. And last but not least, in our community, in all the conferences, many keynote speakers, program chairs, and also committee members are from female. And for example, in ESWeek, Tulika from National University of Singapore has been well represented in the award committees in other keynote speeches before. So maybe Sayang or other people, you can add something more. But today, I don't know, because we now only have 17, a little 20 people attended, and now it's 13 people. Maybe some of them, because of time difference, they cannot attend.
Yeah, so not a whole lot to add there, Steve. It's unfortunate. Professor Chu Fan was supposed to attend, but she also had a class to teach, so it was going to be tricky. And yes, something to pay attention to in the future, in making sure that the timing works for some of the members of underrepresented groups and women and so forth.
Thank you, Professor Steve and Professor Sayang. Yeah, I was just curious, so I just posted the question. Thank you for the clarification.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think maybe I'll add a point.
It's a great question. Yes. Why don't you go ahead?
Yes, right. So maybe I just want to make a point. So first of all, if you look at our membership status statistics, so only 10% are female. I think to answer the specific question, I think we should probably put in more efforts to attract not only female researchers and students to our community, and also other like minorities. But this is, I think, a very good point for us to think about. Yeah. And this meeting is open to public, so anyone who wants to join can join.
Okay, I think now of course, let's go to the last slide, which we welcome contact us anytime. So I listed all the contact information of the Sayang, Wanli, and myself. And please reach out to us anytime, no matter it's comments, it's suggestions to ideas, or criticize this, or anything. We are always here to listen and to help.
Thank you, Sayan and Steve and Wanli. This was amazing. I mean, we got a lot of support from SIGBED in ESWeek. We are very, very thankful for that. It was amazing. And the ACM SRC, the student research competition that Wanli and Yoon Hao Chang organized, that was amazing. We got a lot of participation in that. I think that really was a step further from the last time in terms of student engagement. So thanks a lot to all of you for your hard work.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Aviral.
Yeah, that's the minimum that we should do, and we are a community together.
Yeah. Thank you, and look forward to seeing everyone in person next time.
Yeah, very soon. Thanks.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks.
you.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.